Welcome back to the Ponley Hockey post-game show. I'm Devin Caney. It is time for our Diamond Debate presented by Mark's Jewelers. Seth, I just saw you at Mark's a few days ago. Did you end up getting anything that night? No gifts? Christmas
Can't
gifts?
tell you that. It's Christmas time.
Why can't you tell me that?
It's a surprise.
Yeah, probably got something.
Okay.
I thought,
Are they watching, whoever you got it for?
I don't know. Who knows? I tell you this though. I don't think I've ever been in a more impressive jewelry store ever.
Yeah.
It's huge. The selection is unreal, and the topper for me was the bar in the jewelry store.
Yeah, bar in a jewelry store is impressive and dangerous a little bit, but yeah, they
Not dangerous.
And you know what? I have some
Well-
inside information. I noticed that you're not wearing any Mark's bling.
I'm not,
Apparently you went over there and they said, no. We're selling. We have to keep everything in house for this big Christmas sale we're having. We can't afford to let anything outside the store, Devin.
Well,
so
yeah,
you're shut out this week.
They are having a Christmas sale, and I got something for my mom that night when I was at Mark's a few days ago. But if you go, tell them Devin, tell them JAKIB Media sent you. So many beautiful pieces at Mark's Jewelers. But guys, it's time for our Diamond Debate. And today the topic is what went wrong in the Eagles' too close win over the Bears. If you're tuning in and you want to weigh in, you can vote on the JAKIB Sports Twitter page as well as the community section of the YouTube channel. And the options are A, play calling. That is winning by 50% right now. Hurts interceptions, 8.3% voted for that. Trap game, 35%. And then other, 6.5% voted for that. What do you guys think? None of the above?
Listen, I'm a big believer in, you can't be at your razor's edge every week, even in the NFL, as much as you try. Now, this team has one loss. They're coming in after an impressive win and with one ahead, their biggest game of the year so far. So this game kind of fell in the middle. And I just think it's a natural thing for human beings to let down a little bit, knowing that you're better than the other team, and you don't execute the game plan with the same sharpness because deep inside you know you're going to win this game.
So are you saying that's a trap game?
Yeah. So I technically not a trap game, but I think you play down a little bit of a level when you know you're so much better than a team, and it's in this kind of a sequence where you're between really big games on the road.
John McMullen called it on our halftime show human. He said he didn't like the word trap game or term trap game. He called it human nature game.
Yeah, it's
human
exactly
nature
what it is. It's a human nature game.
Right. Do you got any thoughts?
People look at this Bears team as a 3-win team, but 5 of their losses were by 8 points or less. It's just that they don't have enough pieces to finish. They've been competitive in most of their games this season. And basically, whoever plays the Eagles, it's their Super Bowl from here on out. And as Lane Johnson told us a few moments ago, Chicago gave them looks. Again, another opponent giving them looks that they don't study on film. So that's what they're going to see the rest of the way. Teams trying to get an advantage any way, shape, or form to get the edge on this Eagles team. But I question the play calling early on because the Bears were so susceptible to the run, but yet the Eagles came out throwing. When your lead running back doesn't get his first carry until 6:28 left in the second quarter, that kind of makes you scratch your head a little bit, because if they had run the ball with the efficiency and the authority like we know they can, I don't think it would have been a 10-6 game at halftime.
Yeah, and I didn't like the fact that Jalen Hurts was kind of forced to run more so than I wanted him to, and he was slow to get up a few times. There was one instance in particular that really scared me, and I'm sure many, many Eagles fans watching, and it was frustrating. So it was like, Miles Sanders is right there. Give it to Miles Sanders. Stop running.
Yeah.
If Jalen Hurts got injured against the Bears of all teams, I don't know what I would have done with this team.
And I also thought the Bears really limited him. They set an edge that usually is there for him to break out, and they did not let him break out today. So as far as what the Bears were doing against them, they were doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm with Seth. You don't want to take away any athleticism from Jalen Hurts, and running is part of his game. Sometimes he's going to have 10, 11 carries, sometimes out of necessity 15, 16 carries. The only thing I don't like is when he takes off on those middle runs, because as you saw today, a linebacker came up and stuck him right in his chest, and those are the kind of things where you end up getting concussions.
Right.
And the last thing you want this young man to do, now Jalen is so good at getting down when he feels contact is coming, but at some point you can't see everybody on the football field, and somebody's going to catch you the wrong way. And so I don't mind him running to the outside. I don't mind him stepping up, scrambling when he has to. But when you have these call design run plays to the inside, you're just opening him up to get hurt.
Well, as far as that's concerned, you got to look at, what they're doing scheme-wise up front. Why is it sometimes Jalen runs it up the middle and there's nobody there? Why today, the 2 times that he ran it up the middle, he just got smacked right in the face, So when you talk about what the issue was, maybe it's something else. I believe, and I'm not a big believer in, trap games and all that nonsense. I think that the way you practice during the week is basically how you wind up playing. And if you want to see how a team is going to play, watch how they practice throughout the week and how they prepare throughout the week. I believe that the Chicago Bears, for some odd reason, even though, they're ranked where they're ranked, defensively, they were just a bad matchup for the Eagles. Or they, I got to look at the game again and look at what they were doing, because there were times, where even when they gave the ball to Miles, that he couldn't break through, that he couldn't, rip off any substantial runs. A lot of times that's just scheme, because I can't imagine that they did anything different that they've been doing the previous 14 weeks all of a sudden.
Is it human nature to practice on a lower level for this week?
It could be, but my thing is, the coach would know that, and we were talking about it in the pregame, and it just clicked. You remember when I asked Farzy, well, what did he say? He thought I was talking about what Michael Parsons said.
Right.
I wanted to know what it was that Coach Sirianni said, because he was asked about trap games this week in one of his press conferences. So I didn't see the interview, so I'm real curious. What did he actually say about it? So yeah, you could talk about it being human nature to practice a certain way, but as a coaching staff, you know how your players are going to play. You can tell how crisp practices are. The fact that you don't have to repeat plays in practice, or you don't have to go over the same situation over and over again. That if you're the type of staff that puts your players up on the board at the end of the week to kind of prove to you that they've been studying and they know what's going on in the game plan, that they get up there and they boom, 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 they get through it, or they stand up there struggling, and somebody in the background is like, oh, have them hit the B gap. You know what I'm saying? So as a staff, you know.
So you don't think he'll say that? You think maybe he'd be thinking that?
Of course he's not going to say that.
We're not quite on the edge.
So it'll be interesting to watch his press conferences over, tonight and the rest of the week, because as he talks about, today's game, I can promise you, if you learn how to read between the lines, the coach speak, and the things that they say, he will give you an indication of what this week's practice actually looked like.
Well, I just saw a quote that also on Twitter that said basically, Sirianni sidestepped a question when asked about Jalen Hurts taking off on that 22-yard touchdown run. Mm-hmm. Now, why he just wouldn't answer the question directly, because Lane Johnson told us it was a call play. It was an actual call play. So I don't know why he's deflecting that question. I don't know if he doesn't want to give something away, tip his hand in any way, shape, or form. I thought it was interesting when I saw that quote on Twitter. It said he wouldn't answer the question directly.
Well, what? So the question was why he called that play?
No, well, Nick. I basically was like, Nick, take us through Jalen, the 22-yard run.
Uh-huh.
And basically he hemmed and hawed around it. Didn't want to say anything.
D-Gun, let me tell you something, man. Jalen Hurts, and both Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni have become masterful at this.
Answering questions.
You ask them a question.
Yeah.
You ask them a question, and what they do is, they kind of hem and haw and they dance around it.
Yeah.
Like if they answer the question, they're going to give you schematically what they were thinking. Okay, listen, it was a smart play, because you had zero coverage and all the middle of the field was wide open. You didn't have two linebackers in the middle. You didn't even have one linebacker in the middle. You had a safety in the hole that crept down under 12 yards. If he's under 12 yards, you know right now that something fishy's going on, because if he's a hole player, he's got to be at least 12 to get depth.
Right.
So he comes down, okay, and I'm telling you right now, it's a mental error, because that defensive tackle, that nose guard, he went right, the safety blitzed right, and Jason Kelce just blocked both of them. He knocked one guy into the other. If that safety comes in the other hole, that play is dead.
Yeah.
It's dead.
Well, so are you saying that Nick Sirianni and the coaching staff saw that, and that's why they called that play? They don't want to give that information up, or?
Well, listen, there's no way that they could have saw it and called it before the play was actually run.
But on like other plays, they saw the weakness there, or?
Well, absolutely, because most of the time when you see Jalen Hurts take off and run right up the middle, it's because they spread the offense out. They go zero coverage, or not necessarily zero coverage. They go, no backs in the backfield, and they got the defense so spread out that you either got, 4 down and no linebackers, or 4 down and 1 linebacker. In any case, you have an advantage because depending on which way the front is set, the quarterback's going to be able to take off with nobody because every single defender in the box, even if it's 5-man, even if the linebacker's there, Jason Kelsey's got the middle backer, the 2 guards have got the defensive tackles, and the 2 tackles got the ends. They're all one-on-one blocks, and when you don't have anybody in there because you spread it all out, it makes it even that should almost be an automatic check.
That's what I thought when he asked the question to Lane. I thought that he checked because a tendency showed when they go to that look with the 1 high that Brisker always blitzes to that side. That's why I thought Jalen made a call because it was just clear wide open and they blocked it that way.
You saw the DBs creeping up to the line of scrimmage. I thought it was adjustment call at the line.
It would not be a surprise to me the fact that Jalen is not going to address the dynamics of it. Coach Sirianni's not going to address the dynamics of it. Lane Johnson said that the play was called
in the huddle.
And how the hell can you make that call before you see what the front looks like?
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now what it is this an automatic call, okay? That's an automatic. The minute that he steps up to the line of scrimmage and the box is that light, that's an automatic check.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But they don't want to reveal. That's fine. But we saw what we saw, and it was a touchdown play. So,
we saw the touchdown, and given those concerns, are you worried at all going into next week? Cowboys did lose today. Great quote by you, Seth. You were the only one who saw it and was excited. Mike's like, I'm trying to do a show.
I was talking into a void all of a sudden. No, but listen,
it was a pause for station identification.
I thought a wire was pulled and we were off the air or something.
You should have seen Mike's face. He was like this.
Well, okay, but this Eagles-Bears game, I don't know about you guys, but this Eagles-Bears game was so frustrating and just not fun to watch. Yes, the Eagles won. That watching the Cowboys lose and in the way that they lost was more exciting.
I got to say,
than watching the Eagles game. I have to say.
That, please. Because I said the same thing. I said the same thing to Mike. I'm like, the best thing that happened today was the Cowboys lost. He was like, oh, no, the best thing that happened today.
It is today. But see, when you lose a game like that, I think it gives you extra motivation. You have to win that game next week. And so I think
it doesn't, because you want to know what? Listen, let me tell you what's going on in the minds of the Dallas Cowboys right now. They're going to look at the Philadelphia Eagles and see the Eagles' struggles, okay? But they got 3 other games that they have to break down where the Eagles did not struggle, where the Eagles dominated, okay? They've got to look within as far as they're concerned because they just got by. They got lucky last week and got by the Houston Texans. Then they go to Jacksonville and they lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars in overtime. Are you kidding me?
After they had a big lead, too.
They should be in their own heads so much more than anything else as far as the Eagles are concerned. So who do you think is going to go into this game more confident?
Eagles.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, Eagles.
Well,
Absolutely.
but I do hope the Eagles take away, things that they could have done a lot better in this game against the Bears.
Devin, the Eagles are going to go into this game pissed off because of what Michael Parsons says, because of what ESPN has said the last couple of weeks. I cannot wait until tomorrow morning to see what ESPN's rankings look like tomorrow.
I got to think the preparation is going to be that much more intense, or certainly more intense than it was for the Bears. So you're playing the Dallas Cowboys there.
Well, they're the Cowboys. Of course it's going to be.
Of
course it's going to be more intense because it's the damn Cowboys.
Yeah.
Okay, and you get a chance to beat them twice in a row and give them the thought that if I see you again, before next fall, you'll be coming to us. And guess what? The same 2 ass whoopers we put on you earlier, when you come to Philly again in 2023, you about to get another one.
Yep, hopefully. All right, that wraps up our Diamond Debate presented by Mark's Jewelers. Stick around, the Pondley Hockey postgame show will come back right after this break.